What's up, guys? It's your boy Kurt, coach of the East Coast Bishop, bringing you PMU Season 9, Week 1 versus Carson and his Pittsburgh Celesteelers. As you can see by the team he brought, Nidoqueen, Lycanroc Dusk, Cofagrigus, Tangrowth, Mega Gardevoir, and Infernape. I wasn't feeling confident about this matchup. Nidoqueen absolutely ran over my team. It was a really scary mon. My only way to beat it was Deoxys. Infernape was another mon that absolutely run me over if I lost Deoxys. I struggled to break Tangrowth. That one was not a fun mon to try and deal with. Cofagrigus was just an annoyance for Terrakion. As I was Scarf Terrakion, I was Stealth Rock, Raw, Swampert, just a general Wish Pass, Protect, Ordino to try and keep my team a little bit healthier. I was a Calm Mind Recover with Mono Psychic Deoxys, as his draft itself didn't have a Psychic type, so that was really nice. I mean a Dark type, sorry. It didn't have a Dark type, so I could freely run that without having to worry about him going into a Dark type on my Psychics. So that was really nice. I just had a Lava Plume Heatran just to try and it was just mainly to semi-check Tangrowth. It also dealt with Gardevoir, as I had Iron Head over Flash Cannon just so I could hit it on the weaker side in case he invested into the Spadef. I just had a Choice Scarf Terrakion just as a revenge killer and just a way to try and break through the team a little bit. And then I just had an Assault Vested Raikou because it helped deal with Gardevoir a little bit. It helped take one from Nidoqueen. It helped me somewhat with Tangrowth, being able to switch in at least and then Volt Switch back out. So I'm just going to get into it. So as you can tell by the way that they lined up, I led with Swampert as he led with Nidoqueen, so that was really nice for me. I basically got a free Rocks Up with the Swampert. There was nothing he could do to stop that unless he was Taunt Nidoqueen, but he didn't want to catch an Earthquake to the face, so he had a pretty free switch into Tangrowth. So if I needed to, I could get Rocks Up pretty freely here. I'm pretty sure I just went straight out into Ordino though, just because no, I did get my Rocks Up, sorry. Yeah, so I get my Rocks Up, so this is really nice. He doesn't have any removal, so getting Rocks Up was huge. But here I go into Ordino because Tangrowth actually doesn't beat Ordino ever 1v1, unless it's like Acid Spray. But he goes for the knockoff, so that's really nice because I just chew that. There's nothing that he can do about that. So I'm just going to Mega with the Ordino. I can just toss up a free Wish. I can scout what he goes for with Protect if I wanted to. So he's just going to go for the Sludge Bombs. I just toss up a Wish. I lose nothing by tossing up a Wish. I can scout out what he's going to be. I can see how much damage he's doing, whether he's got a little bit of special attack investment or not. So that was really nice. So here I'm just going to go for the Protect, see what he goes for. As he does go for the knockoff, probably thinking that I would go out into something like Heatran or something on the Sludge Bomb. So that was really nice. So he's gonna switch out his Tangrowth and he's gonna go into the Gardevoir, as I'm actually gonna double out into the Heatran myself. So that was getting the Stealth Rock chip on Gardevoir was gonna matter a lot. Just because I needed 2 rounds of Stealth Rock chip at least for Iron Head to even roll a kill. So I needed about three rounds of it, just to guarantee it. As he is going to go into the Cofagrigus, I'm just going to go for the Iron Head. I thought about Lava Pluming there, and if I did Lava Plume, I caught this thing on a switch in and potentially 2-hit KO'd it after Rocks. So he's not going to be able to do much with this now. I think I did 2-hit KO, so I'm just going to go for Lava Plume. He can't touch me with this thing. The best he can do is maybe knock off my item or something. But he is just going to go for the Toxic Spikes, which is really annoying as I didn't bring any removal this week. I just couldn't fit the removal onto the team as I would have liked. They just didn't have a very good matchup. But we do get the burn, so that's really nice, negating the leftovers. So I'm just going to fire off another Lava Plume. I lose nothing. I kill the Cofagrigus. So that's really nice. I get a crit. The crit, I don't think mattered actually. I remember running the calcs, unless he was like really Spadef. I don't remember though. As he is just going to go into the Nidoqueen now, now that the Cofagrigus is dead. So I'm going to pivot out here. Swampert, sorry, no. Raikou is my switch in. At this point, Raikou is the one that I feel is the least useful on the team. Just because he has the Nidoqueen and the Tangrowth. This was mainly here for a Mon that he didn't bring, so that was really, really nice. It was actually a roll to put me into the range of poison, so that was really unfortunate. He did get the right roll he needed. So sadly, Raikou goes down without really doing much, other than wasting 2 PP instead of 1 on the Earth Power. As I'm going to go into Deoxys, and I can pretty freely Calm Mind here. He can't beat he doesn't break this one if I 1v1 it. So I could get +6 on this thing. So that was something that was really nice. He's going to go for the Earth Power, and it is going to do a lot of damage, even at +1. Nidoqueen is extremely scary for my team. There's just not a whole lot I can do to deal with this thing. So here I just go for a Psyshock. I lose nothing, I think. I think I Psyshock or I recover. I'm pretty sure I Psyshock because I lose nothing. I kill the Nidoqueen every time. So yeah, I go for the Psyshock. He does reveal that he is an Assault Vested Tangrowth, and he is a more Spadef Tangrowth, as I did about 25-ish%. So that was about right from where I wanted it to be. I'm just gonna go for the recover here. He doesn't actually ever break this in a 1v1 without stalling me out of recovers, which I also stall him out of knockoffs. So that's really, really nice, being able to just stall him out of knockoffs. It helps later on with the Heatran and the Terrakion. Not taking the chip for that if I don't need them to. It would be nice for the Terrakion to not have to worry about its choice. But the Scarf was really, really crucial in this because it allowed me to outspeed the Lycanroc and the Infernape as well. Unless he was Scarf Infernape, but I don't think he was in this matchup. There just wasn't any room for Scarf Infernape. So he's going to go to the Lycanroc as I go for another recover. So he's unfortunately stalling me out of recovers at the same time. I don't really have a whole lot I can deal with this. So I'm forced to switch. I have to switch out here. I go into Swampert. I lose nothing going into Pert, as he does reveal his, I think he goes for a Sword Stance here, revealing that he is SD. Yeah, he reveals the Sword Stance, but he never actually kills this, and he needs this as priority to kill the Deoxys. So he 100% needed to keep this alive, which is something that I knew, but I still went for the Earthquake just in case he wanted to stay in. I lost nothing going for Earthquake here. I lose no momentum. I can always pivot into the Ordino and Heatran every time. He doesn't really have a switch into the Heatran. So we go for the Earthquake, doing not a whole lot of damage, so that's unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot I can do there. I was really worried about Earthquake on Tangrowth though, so I couldn't 100% pivot into Tangrowth into Heatran on Tangrowth every single time. As he is going to call my switch here and go into Infernape, which was really, really scary. I didn't know what to think about this Infernape. It scared me a lot, what he could do with this. Unfortunately, everything is just getting poisoned and slowly whittling down, so that's really, really unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot I could do. He's going to go for the U-turn. I was staying in just to scout what kind of set he was. I think he was a Scarf set or something. No, he wasn't Scarf. I think he was, I don't remember what he was. But I'm going to toss up a Wish. I lose nothing tossing up the Wish. He has nothing that can switch in on this. It allows me to get into Heatran and Swampert and Terrakion. I can get into anything freely with tossing up a Wish. Heal Bell would have been really, really nice this match. Just being able to remove the Toxics. As I'm going to go into Swampert and get that back to full HP. Being full HP with Swampert means that I can take one Sludge Wave into Earth Power from Nidoqueen. As he's going to go for the knock, I thought he might do that. So I'm just going to Earthquake. I thought he might have switched, predicting the Heatran to come in, or the Ordino on the knock. So I thought he might knock, but there was no way he ever clicked a Giga Drain there. It didn't do enough damage to anything. So unfortunately, we're back down low on health now, as he is now going to go for the Sludge Bomb, thinking that I go into Autono on the knockoff, but it's easier to go into Heatran. I don't worry too much about losing my item there. He goes into the Gardevoir as I just click Lava Plume. That's pretty free to click versus him. It is a Mega Gardevoir, but I think he forgot, he didn't have the the Mega Ring, so that was unfortunate. He couldn't actually do what he needed to do with the Gardevoir and outspeed, so that was unfortunate. So I did outspeed the Gardevoir as he now gets into the he goes into Nidoqueen, and I don't have a really good answer for this, so I unfortunately have to sack Swampert here. So I only switch into Nidoqueen, and it's honestly really terrifying not having an answer to Nidoqueen. Just because of the way it is, it's just really scary. So we go back into Deoxys. I lose nothing going into Deoxys every single time on this. It forces it out. He's taking more and more chip every time he switches, which helps a lot. It means that later on I don't need to be as hard on my predictions. So I'm going to go for the Calm Mind as he goes back into the Tangrowth. I don't really beat this thing, but I have to just sort of try and 1v1 it a little bit and stall it out of Nox. So I'm going to get +2. Getting +2 on the Calm Mind, meaning that Psy Shock does about 50%. It would put him into range of Heatran as he goes for Knock, and I can just start recover stalling this thing because I heal more than he can do with Knock plus poison damage. So I actually gain from this exchange. I come out better after all of this, especially with him clicking Knock a lot earlier on in the game. He runs out of Knocks a lot earlier than me. So that was really nice to have. Knowing that I gain about 5 HP back every time, so it's not a big gain, but it is enough that my HP does slowly go up. I think it's a little bit more than 5 actually, yeah. It's about 14 or so I gain back, depending on the roll. I think it's about 5 to 14, depending on what his knockoff roll is. As he does switch, which was very interesting. I thought he might just try and stall me out of recovers so that he could Excel Rock later once I can't recover up high enough. But he does switch, allowing me to get the free recover off. So I never actually die to an Excel Rock into a Mach Punch from Lycanroc and Infernape. I do die to the poison after, but by that time he's already lost his Lycanroc and his Infernape. He only has the Tangrowth and the Nidoqueen left. So he does go into Infernape here. So I think he might have thought I was in range, but I had enough HP here. I did the calcs. He doesn't even have Mach Punch, so that was interesting. I thought he might have had Mach Punch, but I think he was a... I don't think he had Mach... I don't know what reason he didn't have Mach Punch for. But I do unfortunately have to sack the Deoxys now to the poison. I'll go into Terrakion. I thought he might go Nidoqueen to try and catch the Heatran. And I was correct, so getting in Terrakion here is really nice. He only has one switch into Earthquake, but he needs to, he can't really safely say what I'm going to click, because if he does switch on my close combat, then I do a lot of damage, and he goes into range of Heatran Lava Plume twice. So he does go into the Tangrowth here now. I unfortunately do have to switch. I've still got the Ordino in the back. I have Heatran that's just sitting in the background. And so I can get into Heatran pretty safely here because he's obviously going to click Giga Drain. He reveals Ancient Power as his last move. So this Heatran literally just beats this 1v1 every single time. That's why he was switching every time instead of revealing Earthquake. So I was a Shucker Berry Tran to try and deal with Nidoqueen a little bit better. It wasn't a great check, I didn't exactly have a lot for Nidoqueen. But we do end up picking up the W. Week 1 versus Carson. Heatran picking up 3 kills. Deoxys picking up 2 kills with a death, and Terrakion picking up 1. That was a really, really fun game versus Carson, actually. I really, really enjoyed playing against him. His team was extremely scary, and his prep wasn't bad at all. The Toxic Spikes was a really, really nice bring, as my removal had a really, really bad matchup versus him. So he got Toxic Spikes pretty freely. Unfortunate that he couldn't get the second layer up, because that would have changed the outcome of the game completely. But good thing we didn't get the second layer of T-Spikes up on outside of the field. So next week we take on Leo, or 6-foot Hacks, and his Durham Drodigan, and his team is just as scary. So I'll see you guys for week 2.